Thank you for tuning in to another Bob's Pro Shot video ball review, and today we're going to talk about the all-new, highly anticipated Storm Revenant. As you guys know, the Storm Revenant is the second coming of the Spectre, essentially, so we're just going to go over the specs real quick. The cover stock is R3S Pearl. The weight block is the Vector Core. The difference between this and the Spectre, Revenant comes at Reactive Gloss. Ball color, it's like a purple and black, looks really sharp, and the fragrance is Bear Claw on this. The Bear Claw pretty much smells like, if you remember the Supersonic, how it smelled like sweet plum, that's what the Revenant smells like a little bit to me. That's where I get it from. At 15 pounds, this has an RG of 254 and a diff of 050. So the big question that everybody wants to know is, how does the Revenant compare to the old Spectre? And what I would say is that the Revenant is a little bit more angular on the back end than the Spectre was. The Spectre for me was actually a little closer to the Fate than it is the Revenant. And that's just because the Spectre for me had a little bit more of a rounder motion on the back end. Same thing with the Fate. The Fate picks it up a little earlier than the Revenant does. So if you're looking for the Spectre replacement off of ball shape motion, I would probably say it would be the Fate. If you want to look on a technical standpoint, the Revenant would be the replacement for the Spectre. The Revenant's really going to shine in those high friction centers, low volume centers, or if you have a little bit more volume on your lanes, you're probably looking at a game 3, maybe halfway through game 2, you can switch to the Revenant and move in a little bit. But the ball does need friction to get started because it's so clean. I think the Revenant's a great ball. It's really good in that straight angle, that like 10 to 5, 15 to 10, small little belly up the right side, but also it excels, like I said, if you have high friction centers, you can move in with it, and it's going to be an optimal ball for you. In comparison, we're going to look at the Revenant and the Fate today side by side, because I think those are the two balls that are going to get closest to the Spectre if you wanted to replace that Spectre. The Fate, for me, it picks up earlier. It's a stronger ball. It's a stronger cover. It has REX Pro on it, which we know is a pretty strong, smooth cover stock, which we've seen on the Night Road. We've seen it on the Dark Code now. The Fate just picks up earlier, has a little bit of a rounder motion on the back end in comparison to the Revenant, where it kind of skates through the fronts even more than the Fate does, and it gives you that angular motion on the back end. The Fate for me right now in our high friction centers, because we do bowl and wood on one center, the Fate for me is my go-to ball. That's kind of my first ball out of the bag right now. And I think the Revenant is going to bounce and complement the Fate really well. For whenever the Fate starts to get a little flat, I can go to the Revenant. I can get even a little deeper with the Revenant and as it gets through the fronts. Or I could even close my angles down with the Revenant too if I needed to. The play was to move back right. I feel like the Revenant could give me that option as well because it's so clean. All in all, if you were expecting the end-all be-all of the Revenant is the Spectre again, and it's been reborn, it has to an extent. I don't think it's the exact same ball, obviously, that came out back then. And that's just because of the motion that it gives me on the back end. I do feel like using the Fate for such a while now, I feel like the Fate is absolutely that replacement ball for the Spectre, but the Revenant has a place of its own. It's a great ball that'll complement something like a High Road Pearl, a Night Road, anything like that. The Revenant's going to be another option that gives you another shape down lane. The Revenant is available for purchase on January 17th, so please go check your pro shops, get one pre-ordered. I think it's going to be a good ball that's going to match up in your bag. Once again, thanks for tuning in to a Bob's Pro Shot video ball review. Take a chance to like us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube and Instagram channel to stay up to date with all of our videos. Thanks.